I remember the moment like it was carved into my soul, the way her lips met his just inches from the home we built together, the very doorstep where we once kissed under falling snow, where I carried her across the threshold as my wife, where we planned a future she apparently no longer wanted with me but with someone from her past, and yet in that moment, frozen in time, rage boiling in my chest, I didn't scream, didn't storm out or break anything. I just watched silently from the crack in the curtain as she pressed herself into him like I never existed, like the vows we made meant nothing. And the worst part wasn't the betrayal, it was the smirk on her face when she pulled away and glanced toward the door, as if she wanted me to see, as if the kiss was less about him and more about hurting me, pushing me, expecting me to explode into a fit of rage and give her the drama she could use to justify her escape. But I didn't give her that satisfaction. Instead, I stepped back, took a breath, and let the silence do the talking, because sometimes silence is more terrifying than rage, and I knew in that instant that I was done being the fool, the devoted husband clinging to a ghost, and so began my cold revenge, not out of hate but out of clarity, because what she didn't know was that I had already suspected something for weeks. Late-night texts, distant kisses, that one time I smelled cologne on her even though I hadn't worn any in days. And so I placed a small camera in the front porch light, another in the living room, synced them to a hidden server in my office, not because I wanted to catch her, but because I needed the truth to slap me hard enough to let go. And that kiss outside our door? It was the final nail in a coffin she built herself, and while she walked back inside, cheeks flushed, lips still tinged with betrayal, pretending everything was normal, I greeted her with the same soft smile she used on me for months, and she bought it, thought I hadn't seen a thing, thought she had won. And that's when I started the unraveling, slowly, methodically, quietly, like a man disassembling a bomb, because that's what our marriage had become, ticking, volatile, and packed with lies. And the next morning I made her coffee, her favorite, with vanilla syrup and just a touch of cinnamon, and I watched her sip it while scrolling her phone, texting him no doubt, and I smiled because I knew every message she sent would land in my inbox too, thanks to the clone SIM I had installed in her phone when she left it unlocked one night. Yes, I played dirty, but so did she, and for weeks I gathered proof, documenting everything. Hotel check-ins, flirty voice notes, private photos exchanged. When she said she was working late, and while she planned a life with her ex behind my back, I planned a storm she never saw coming, moving assets, securing my finances, transferring house deeds into my name. She never noticed, not even when I changed our joint account passwords or redirected her mail to a P.O. box I controlled. And when everything was in place, I printed the evidence, over 400 pages, bound it like a book titled The Real You, and left it on her side of the bed while she was out on a girls' night that I knew was anything but, and I didn't wait for her to come back to see it. I simply packed a small bag, took the keys to the lake house she didn't know I still owned, and disappeared, leaving her with silence, unanswered texts, and a life she thought was hers unraveling thread by thread. And days passed, then weeks, and I didn't reply to her calls or her suddenly apologetic voicemails, didn't respond when she showed up at my friends' homes crying, didn't flinch when she posted sad quotes on social media pretending to be the victim, because the beauty of the trap wasn't in exposing her publicly, it was in making her live with herself privately, knowing the mask had slipped and she couldn't put it back on. And soon she was evicted from the home she thought we still shared, bank accounts empty, her car technically mine, repossessed, all legal, all clean and all silent. And when she finally found me months later, standing alone on the edge of the dock at the lake house, she had the audacity to cry and whisper, "Why didn't you say anything?" And I looked at her, truly looked at her, the woman I once loved with every inch of my being, and simply replied, "Because I wanted you to feel what I felt, alone, unseen and disposable." And I turned and walked away as she collapsed onto the wooden planks behind me, sobbing not out of guilt but out of consequence, because people like her only feel the weight of their actions when silence robs them of excuses. And from that day on, I never once looked back, never answered her emails, never clarified the rumor she tried to spin, because revenge isn't always loud. It's sometimes the quiet removal of yourself from someone's life so completely that your absence haunts them louder than your presence ever could.